Welcome to the Raising Smart Kids podcast. I'm your host, Yong, and each week we'll explore ways in which the arts can help you raise a smarter kid. I'll be sharing ways the arts can propel your child's learning and interviewing top artists, educators, and entrepreneurs. These guests will share why the arts are so very important to your child, along with actionable ideas you can easily implement into your already busy schedule. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast here on iTunes and share us with a friend. For extra tips on raising smart kids, head on over to artsmartparenting.com and click on the Live tab. Hey, and welcome back to the podcast. This is episode number 72 of the Raising Smart Kids 2.0 podcast, and I'm your host, Yong Pratt, and I am thrilled to have you here with me today. Well, we're nearing the end of June, and all of the schools locally have let out for summer, so we're officially all on summer break. And I know most schools around the country, unless you're year-round, are also enjoying summer break as well. I have to say, the past week, even though we have not been in school, has been probably one of the busiest weeks I've had to date. Normally, as the kids go to school each day, I spend my days working, interviewing experts for the podcast, creating podcast content for you, and working with the students at my performing arts studio. Now, June 17th is actually the celebration of our 16th year of running a performing arts studio, and we're celebrating by having a year-end showcase, and we're going to be doing that. And we've made some really big changes in our Performing Arts Academy this year, and our focus now is really on teaching the kids that we serve to be servants at heart and learn to use their talents to serve others. So I couldn't be more proud, and I'm excited to be able to see how much they've grown in the past season and really to celebrate their accomplishments. Now, as we talk about summer and schedules and how busy we are, I wanted to keep today's episode really short for you and just to highlight a couple of previous episodes that we have recorded that could really be beneficial for you as you head into your summer season. All right, the first episode I want to talk to you about, of course, is episode number 1. Episode number 1 really talks about why the arts are so crucial and critical for your child, and really summer is such a wonderful time to get your kids involved in arts classes. There are usually lots of kids activities going on in just about every town, or you can hop on the internet, and really there's a wealth of resources available for you there to explore arts, to take classes, to really just have some great conversations with your kids about the arts and helping them to understand that the arts is more than just about creation. It's really about learning to become a problem solver, a critical thinker, a way for them to really grow in leadership, and in our case, in our academy, really grow in becoming a servant to our community. The next episode I want to point out is episode number 12, where I talk about experiencing art every day. And when I think about art, my definition of the arts is not, again, about the creation or looking at a piece or watching a dance or looking at a photograph. It really can happen anywhere. So episode number 12 talks about how you can experience art every day and how you can really make that a seamless part of your everyday life. Episode number 15 is all about storytelling with your kids. I'm sure that your kids in the summer like to stay up a little later. I know mine sure do. And they often will head to the TV to kind of unwind at the end of the day. Why not take a few nights in the week, maybe designate them as story nights, where as a family you come together to create stories. It could be a bedtime story. It could be a story you create over breakfast. Really, any time during the day is a great time to be creating stories with our kids. And as they're home more, I know that I definitely want to keep their minds active, and storytelling is a really, really great way to let them use their imagination and really put the skills they've been working on in school to play as far as vocabulary, maybe spelling, maybe handwriting. You can incorporate all those learning skills, but don't tell them they're actually learning something. Really letting them create and be imaginative and make some beautiful stories together. And you can always record those on your phones. You can have the kids write them if maybe they're learning how to type. There's lots of ways you can actually record those stories and preserve them for all eternity. Episode number 18 is very much related, and that's about singing with your kids. In that episode, we talk about why singing is so beneficial and how your kids can really gain from singing, as well as with you singing with them. So check that one out. Episode number 31 is a great one, and it's all about creating kid-smart spaces. So as your kids are home this summer and they're occupying more space in the home more often, it might be a wonderful time to recreate a space for them to create art, a space for them where they can study in the fall, really just a space that is sacred for them to do what they want and really use their brains and their imaginations and become active participants through the summer. All right, episode number 37. It's all about keeping your kids curious forever. Now, for me, learning and having our kids become lovers of learning is all about instilling curiosity in them. So this episode really speaks to how do we keep them curious forever? How do we keep them wanting to learn? How do we keep them excited and engaged in the learning process? Number 35 is a really great one. Now, my friend Jen Zills of Kids Eat Vegetables, she just ran a 5-day challenge helping parents to help kids eat more vegetables. We did a live broadcast recently where she talked about that particular challenge. But episode number 35 of the podcast digs deep into nutrition and how we as parents can make nutrition fun. Now, in the summertime, as kids tend to be home more often and maybe spend more time lounging around the house, recuperating as it were, there often are some more snacks involved and they're consuming a bit more food than they normally would during the school year. So being able to infuse some great nutrition into your summer and find ways that you can get your kids excited about meal planning and eating more healthfully are all things that are going to make your summer even more successful. So there you have it. There are some great resources for you in our previously recorded podcast episodes that I really wanted to highlight because the summer is a great time to be able to incorporate and listen to those quick lessons and have your own takeaways about how you can incorporate the arts and learning and all these great things we want for our kids. And with that being said, I am going to head off to go to rehearsal to get our kids here locally ready for their 16th annual year-end showcase. All right, my friends, I am wishing you a wonderful, wonderful mid-June day and a very happy week until I catch you next time. Cheers. Thanks for tuning in to the Raising Smart Kids 2.0 podcast. To really accelerate your ability to unleash your child's superpowers and raise smarter kids through the arts, we're creating loads of new resources, ways to connect, and ways to celebrate your successes. You can join our free Facebook community by visiting theartsmartparent.com or just search up Raising Smart Kids 2.0 on Facebook. I look forward to seeing you inside our community.